And, you know, so if you notice that the footage is pretty shaky, I'm getting used to that whole handheld with the handle. And I gotta tell you, I think the best images are the stuff where the camera's stationary. Handheld with this aspect ratio just doesn't look too good, in my opinion. But anyhow, back to the session. Not only was this a test shoot for the camera, but this was also the first time we skated this spot. And this is a pool that we had been looking at for a while. It was in a fully functioning apartment complex, and pretty bitchin' pool by any standards. Big, deep bowl. Even the shallow one was like shoulder high. Man, just big, steep, round. I mean, look at that waterfall. I mean, holy smokes. That's about a solid 3-foot waterfall. 3 feet of vert all the way around. But smooth, kinkless transitions. The surface was grippy enough. And this is how we like to find them. Empty, with a little bit of work. You know, nothing a little sweep can't cure. Virgin coping, never been grinded. Pulled, probably never been skated. Man. It's these stationary shots that, looking back, are my favorite because you get to see all the detail in the surface, and I think the skating looks a little better. But the depth of the pool and kind of what we're dealing with is a little bit more visible with some of these handheld angles. And I gotta tell you, man, this lens and this camera, you know, the stock lens just looks beautiful in the daylight. Anyhow, this is fairly typical of our barge missions, where we just kind of, you know, we do our best to get in there and, you know, get permission, but sometimes this is how we do it. This is how things have to be done. And when you're documenting the history and skateboarding, and guys are stoked, you kind of have to deal with it. And here's me ripping the first grinds of the session, and the first grinds in this pool, as far as I know. And I think we caught the locals a little by surprise. I don't think they expected to see a full-grown men skating their pool. This thing had nothing but toys and roofing shingles and a lot of dirt in there before we started, so this is probably the most action this thing has seen since the last hot summer day. I mean, right now we have Santa Ana winds going on, and that's the wind event. I'm saying this is probably in the fall, probably 2007. And this was one heck of a pull to ride. Bad Billy over the light. That shallow end was so condensed it was hard to get in and out of. And with the big pile of dirt and 3 guys standing there, that didn't help. But it's pretty funny. Adam 12 there doing his best Elvis impersonation. Looking cool, lackadaisical. Here's me getting a little front side grind over the light. Man, that was a good pull. Those deep in walls, it's hard to explain to people how good that felt to skate that, but it's pretty buttery as far as pulls are concerned. I mean, I would say as good as that pull is, or was at the time, not sure if it's still there, probably is, but this is fairly typical of the quality of pulls that we strive for, but don't always find. I mean, one thing you notice about this is there's a lot of flat bottom in the deep end, which is not normal for a backyard pool, but this being a apartment pool, it's a little bigger, made to accommodate a bigger crowd. But that amount of shallow, I mean, that amount of flat bottom in the deep end combined with that big of a round bowl and that size of waterfall kind of keep everything, you know, it's pretty bowled out. And man, I gotta tell you, I don't think we ever went back to ride this thing. And man, looking at this footage, this is one heck of a session. But this is like a preliminary skate session, and these are the kind of things that happen pretty routine in the Badlands, and with this crew in particular. We just don't always have the cameras. Sometimes it's just still photos. I mean, but whether I'm out there or not, these guys are doing this day in, day out, week after week, year after year. And that's something that very few places in the world have the capability to sustain that type of ongoing adventure in skateboarding. Adam 12 looking smooth as usual. Bad Billy scoping the deep end. Get out of the way.
I'll do it.
Since I pretty much got everything I wanted for a preliminary session, thought it'd be good to step out and get some more shots of the rest of the pool and the guys. Over the light. Surf slash in the pocket. This is where things get kind of funny. The manager shows up, and I don't know if he just came home or if someone called him, but he doesn't know what to make sense of it. Salba is probably a few years older than he is. Billy's probably the same age, and the pool's clean, couple guys skating it. Guys not sure what to make of this. Pretty hilarious. Trying to wrap his mind around what these grown men are doing in the pool. Yeah, I had to remind these guys I'm here too, man. I can't jump this fence with the camera. Love how Salba still tries to get permission.
Hey, we can't skate?
You know what? I can call the police.
No, we don't want to call the police. I don't want any problems.